Welcome back, guys. Another video here. Again, as always, I want to thank you for being a part of this group. I want to thank you for participating in it, engaging in it, asking questions, making comments, helping each other out. That's exactly why we built this page. So today, I want to talk, we get a good amount of requests from people who are looking to invest in Houston from out of town, whether they're from a different city in Texas, whether they're from a different state, even a different country. So to all of our friends out there that aren't here local in Houston, we absolutely care about you guys, want to help you guys as well. So one of the biggest requests we get from people from out of town is, what areas of town should I be investing in? What are the areas of town? So as you can see, I drew this beautiful to scale map here that you could probably take to the bank anytime you want to drive around Houston because it's just so perfect and clear. That was sarcasm for those that didn't pick up on it. I'm pretty fluent in it. So if you look, we got H-Town, downtown right here in the center. This will be your 610 loop. This will be Beltway 8. Okay, we've got I-10 going east to west, or west to east here, 59 and 45. Now, I left 290, I left 288 out. They're not the major highways, so we're just going to kind of give you a little picture here. So let's talk about the different areas of town. Like most of the videos that we talk about, a lot of stuff depends on what your goals are, what your strategies are, etc. A lot of people here recently are interested in real estate. Where are you going, Lucy? Here recently because of the storm, a lot of the flooded areas, okay? We'll talk a little bit about that, but then we'll talk about it in a more normalized sense because I want you to get value out of this as opposed to just flooded properties. So if we're looking at a big area of map, typically speaking, not all the time, typically speaking, if you're looking to invest in rental properties, you're going to get better bets in the suburbs, okay? So let's just kind of work our way around. Up here in the northeast side of town, you've got your Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita. That's kind of, up there, 30 miles from downtown. Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita. I'm not going to spell the whole thing because I'm probably going to misspell it. So Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita are middle to upper middle class areas, really good public school system, high rents, sales happen very quickly over there. It's a really solid area. The downside to the Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita area, it's really competitive. It's really, really difficult to find good deals up there sometimes. We do get them from time to time, and if you find one up there, it's really worth jumping in. If you've been following our videos and you talked about the 5 ways real estate pays you, Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita, that area, great time. If it's not that great of a cash flow property, it's probably going to appreciate pretty decently in value. So as we work our way around, so here's the Beltway. So north of the Beltway, you're going to get Spring, another really, really great area. And in between this 45 to 59 area is some solid rental properties. Not as much appreciation, more of that 3%, 2 to 3% a year probably. But you're going to get really, really strong cash flow. The schools are pretty good, and the tenant profile is pretty good. As you move up north, you've got the Woodlands, you've got Tomball. That's in the Conroe-ish area, okay? So the Woodlands is a much more high-end neighborhood. It's a lot like the Kingwood neighborhood, but more priced higher. So in the Woodlands area, you'll find rental properties here and there, but more likely you're going to be finding flip properties in the Woodlands just because the price point's higher. Once you get above about $200,000 to $250,000 in ARV after repaired value, you're really going to start losing the returns on the rental property because a $300,000 house, you're going to have to get $3,500 a month or so in rent for that to make sense from a cash flow perspective. But really, really solid area if you can find some flip projects. We get stuff there from time to time. So as we're working our way around here, let's see, what do we got? So this is 290. So over here, way out west, you got northwest, you got the Cypress area. Cypress mirrors Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita very much so. Similar price points, similar tenant profile, similar days on market, very similar prices. If you find some deals in the Cypress, and then kind of moving in Jersey Village area, again, very competitive, difficult to find deals there from time to time. Solid flips, solid rentals. This is a really, really sweet area to buy in, as is the Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita, and the Spring areas. So as you've noticed, we're outside the Beltway, which is kind of the outer loop. We do have Highway 99 that got put in. It's not a complete loop yet, but it's pretty close. It's kind of way out here. So let's just focus on 610 and Beltway 8. So outside the Beltway, so we're kind of in the suburbs here. So as we're moving along, here's I-10, here's the Beltway. This is kind of Highway 6, let's just call it. Okay. So right here in this area, right above I-10, right around Highway 6 is the Bear Creek area. Okay. Now we mentioned flood properties. Bear Creek got absolutely hammered by the flood. The reason being is we've got two big reservoirs right here that overflowed, or that they released they released water from, and that's what flooded these areas. So you might be thinking, oh man, I don't want to go there if it floods all the time. I would beg to differ. I think you should buy here all the time. I wish I could buy more property in Bear Creek. Let me tell you why. Different video. We'll tell you why in a different video. So click the link here. We'll make another video talk about why you should buy flood properties, okay? Let's stick to the areas. Good call, Clarissa. So we're right here. This is Highway 6, the Beltway. I'm trying to think so kind of like in this area here is a little bit of the Memorial Energy Corridor area. So this is a really, really, really high-end neighborhood. Some of the most expensive real estate in Houston kind of moving through this area. Obviously, it gets a little bit less expensive as you go farther away from town. I mean, you're talking high-end flips, $1 million properties plus. Beltway, here we go. I'm trying to orient myself here. So along the I-10 corridor to the Beltway, right here, is inside the Beltway really is the Spring Branch area. Spring Branch, Spring Shadows, things like that, it really kind of comes up to here. This is a really, really good area to buy some flip projects. A lot of gentrification going over there. I actually live in this area. You've got one house that is old and beat up and needs to be completely renovated right next to $1 million property. One of the great things about Spring Branch is there's large size lots that are relatively close to town that you cannot find inside the loop, inside of 610. So it's one of the few places that's really close to downtown and the Galleria that has some large plots of land. So if you can buy in this area, I'm pretty confident that the area is going to appreciate pretty quickly over there. Inside the loop here, you've got the Heights. Again, high-end area of town, very desirable, very low days on market, mainly flip projects. Over on this side, you kind of got the east side of town. I mean, I don't really know what else to call it. You've got some solid cash flow areas. It's a little bit rougher area of town, but cash flows very well. Not going to get a whole lot of appreciation, but you can get some good cash flow. Tougher to manage projects over there, so be mindful of that. As you move out here, you've got Channelview. I own a rental property in Channelview. It was a fantastic purchase for me. And way, way, way out east, you got Baytown. Again, Channelview, Baytown, as you're moving outside of town, middle-class areas, not much appreciation, but some solid cash flow. As we move around, we've got down here the Pasadena, Deer Park-ish area. I love buying properties over here. Great rental properties. Down in this southeast area of town over here is a lot of refinery work. So you've got great jobs, hardworking people, blue collar. They take care of the properties. They're easy on the properties. Typically, you can find tenants there that want to fix properties up that they live in. They really treat it like a home, and really solid area to invest as far as a rental property is concerned. Let's see. So down here, we've got south of Memorial. As you move farther down, you can start running into the A-Leaf area. A lot of people like to invest over here. It is a little bit rougher of a neighborhood. It's not a war zone, but it is going to be a little bit more management intensive, but you can find some really good deals in there. As you move south, you've got Missouri City. Mo City. You hear rappers talk about that stuff. Mo City is actually I like that area to buy rental properties in. You got decent schools. You're not too far from the Sugar Land area, which is a really nice area. Sugar Land is down here. Sugar Land's almost like its own city. Sugar Land is much like the Woodlands. Kind of got its own city feel, very high-end homes, good rental properties when you can find them cheap enough, but a really good area to flip properties in. So that covers that. As we go down 45, as you move over here, you've got kind of the Pearland. I forget which one is on which side of the highway, but the Pearland and Friendswood area. I believe, Lucy, tell me, was it Friendswood or Pearland that just got named like a year or two ago as like the best neighborhood in the country or something like that? I think it was Friendswood. Best small town or something like that. In like USA Today or something.
It's in between 288 and 45.
Yeah, so 288.
East of 288, west of 45.
Yeah, so 288 would run right here. Here's 45. So the Pearland Friendswood area, amazing schools, great profile. You can find good flip properties there. You can find really good rental properties there as well because the schools are phenomenal. It's a lot like the other suburbs we talked about, Cypress, Jersey Village, Humboldt, Kingwood, Atascocita, the Woodlands. Not as expensive as the Woodlands, but very, very, very good schools. On the other side of 45, as you move down, you've got Clear Lake. Clear Lake is a little bit more representative of the Woodlands, I would say, than any other area. A little bit more high-end than Pearland and Friendswood. Again, fantastic schools, beautiful area. There's actually a big lake, hence the name Clear Lake, where there's a lot of boating and things like that going on. So if you can find properties in Clear Lake, again, that's one of those areas where maybe it doesn't cash flow as well, but it's going to appreciate at a faster rate than most. As you move south down 45, you're going to get the Texas City, Lamarck area. I love this area for rental properties. Much like Pasadena, blue collar, a lot of blue collar workers there for your tenants, and they cash flow so well. I'm picking up a couple in Texas City right now. I think I'm buying them for 70 grand, putting 15 into them. They rent for like $1,200. I mean, they just cash flow. That is not going to be an area that appreciates very much, but it is going to cash flow like crazy. So that's kind of the major ones. You've got some outlying areas that I like to buy in from time to time. The angle. Oh God, what am I talking? I ran out of room. That's what happened.
Like the biggest
I ran out of room on my map. The board
was bigger and you kept
Houston's big, and I got a small board here. Okay, you can't judge me for that. Okay, so we're clear on that. Let's just erase the west side of town here, and let's just say we're over here closer to 99. Okay, you've got the infamous Katy area. Okay. The girls are making fun of me. Forgot about like the most desirable area in Houston, but no biggie. So north of I-10 and right around 99 and west of 99, you've got the Katy area. Katy's much like the Woodlands, much like Kingwood, Humboldt, Atascocita. Very, 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 very good schools. Very desirable area to invest in. On the east side of 99, you're going to find lower priced homes that typically make for better rental properties. As you move west, you're going to get a little bit more expensive of a home in Katy. South of I-10 on 99, kind of consider the Katy area is the Cinco Ranch area. It's in the Katy School District, that's why I say that. Cinco Ranch is a lot more higher end home. So you're probably going to find better flip projects. Generally speaking, in the Cinco Ranch area, you will find rental properties there as well. But the Cinco Ranch and Katy area, very, very desirable. Very difficult to find deals because of how competitive the market is there. Typically speaking, you can throw properties on the market in Katy, Cinco Ranch, and they're gonna sell like hotcakes. So, sorry, I can't believe I missed that. If there's anybody who lives in Katy, I love you. I did forget about you, but I still love you. So that's kind of a big overview. Look, there's a lot of areas kind of in and out of here that we didn't talk about that still you can find deals and still make sense. There's areas outside of this that still make sense. Angleton's kind of down in this area. I've got, I think, three properties in Angleton. So again, this is a big overlay of a map with different areas, what makes sense for rental properties. Oh wait, you know what I didn't talk about? I forgot about this one. So here's 610. All right, so this is a big, right here, this is a big old flooded area because the bayou kind of runs this way. So this area here, Meyerland, here's the Galleria. This is a Meyerland Medical Center area. Very high end, very desirable, floods all the time. We'll talk about that when we do the flooded property video, but a very, very desirable area. You're inside the loop and really right outside of it, most of the time you're not going to find great properties from a rental perspective, but really good properties from a flip perspective. So because it's such a high-end neighborhood. So that's my beautiful map. As you can tell, I failed as an artist growing up, but I know how to buy real estate. So guys, thank you for being in the group. Keep asking questions. If you have more questions or comments about specific areas, maybe comment on this video about the areas that you like to invest in, where you find the best deals. I'd really love feedback on that. So why don't you do that? Comment on this video on where you like to buy rental properties, where you found some flip properties. What? And then, yeah, we can find your deals there too. If we know we have people that like certain areas it helps us when our buyers are going out to buy these properties that they can sell to you. So please, please, please comment in here on what areas of town you really like to invest in. Again, as always, if you have questions, reach out, comment, help each other out, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.